So just talking and interacting and thinking and discussing open up the door.
That's good. That's great. Um, and you said that you had just done this weekend, or was it something that you were able to do this whole week?
Off and on this whole week, especially this weekend.
Okay.
And I start running in the mornings. I think for the last 3 or 4 days I ran in the morning. So that's enough exercise. I mean, it's not for me by any means, but I said I wanted to start exercising more regularly.
Mm-hmm.
I did it. Now this is where I'm working with myself. Is that where I really want it to be? No, but that's
But it's a start.
there you go.
That's great. What were I'm not to necessarily change the subject, but you had said there were some things that you had adjusted in your life just this weekend. Did you want to go more into that?
Um, I adjusted my perspective on things. I reassessed my values and I realized that basically I forgot who I was, to put it simply. What I wanted out of life, where I was at that motivated me to want to change.
Mm-hmm.
And then, I told you about the relationship and I kind of went downhill from there.
Mm-hmm.
But getting that back, remembering what it was that I wanted to become and reflecting on that. And that's what I did this weekend. I reassessed my values and I really changed a lot of things internally.
Did you, I mean, would you be interested in going into that a little bit more, kind of explaining maybe what you realized your values were, or is that something that you'd rather just
No,
kind of?
we can go into it. It's not an issue. What do you want to know?
Well, I mean, what did you realize that your values, your morals, or who you wanted to be as a person were?
I realized that where I was long ago, I didn't like life. I didn't like my life. I didn't like life in general. I didn't have any particular care for it, enthusiasm. I didn't really give a shit, to be honest. Um, and so, long story short, a lot of stuff happened in the past. I met this girl, and then things changed, and I changed, and then we broke up. But the point is that I remembered how much I hated life until I made the decision that I wanted to be a certain kind of person. I went through life kind of, oh, fucking, I hate doing this shit. I hate going through this routine. I hate going to school. I hate this bullshit. Why do I waste my time? What is the point in all this bullshit? What is the point in fitting into people's rules and following their standards and getting an A and all that? Like, fuck, I don't want to fit in that mold anymore. And so I remembered that, Josh, you got one of two options. You can live like that, like you were back then, and that's slowly what you're slipping into. Like, I don't give a shit about anything anymore. What difference does it make? That's what you're going back into. Or you can get back on the path that you were on before. I chose to get back on the path.
That's wonderful.
Yeah,
I feel like that's the motivation that you were needing when we began this.
that's exactly what it was.
So, do you know what kind of brought you to that conclusion, or?
To be honest, give me a minute.
Okay.
I think it was frustration or something. I don't remember what though. I mean, it's hard to pinpoint, but it's just a general sense of frustration and disgust. In all honesty, I'm just tired of this shit. I don't want to do this anymore. And I really came face to face in my own mind, because I isolated myself, is what it was. And I was just like, I need to figure out me for a little while.
Mm-hmm.
And I came to this point where I came face to face with myself and realized this is the direction you're heading in. Face it. You know what's down that path. Do you want to continue down that? Instead of kind of ignoring it and, yeah, I'm not really going down that path. I'm not going back to that place. And then I kind of got honest with myself and checked and said, look how you feel. Look how you feel about your job. Look how you feel about your work, about school. That's how you're starting to feel the way you used to feel about life. And I just kind of was like, wow, I am. Okay.
So, when you say you felt frustrated and disgust, was that in your life or of yourself?
With myself. My life. Both.
Both.
It's a general sense of disappointment. but disappointment is not a strong enough word. People say, I'm disappointed in you, like, you failed my expectations. I mean, disappointed, like, what the f- is wrong with you? Like that kind of disappointed, like a football player to his a coach to his football player disappointed, not a mom to their kid. I'm disappointed in you, honey. Like, Josh, I'm disappointed in you. What is wrong with you? Like that. That's my frustration.
Well, I'm not glad that you felt that frustration, but I'm glad that you were able to feel that frustration in order to make the changes in your life that you want to make. And I mean, unfortunately, feeling things like that suck, or realizing that you feel that way kind of sucks. But if it was able to give you the motivation that you've been, yearning for, then.
It did. And I'm sorry, it wasn't this weekend. It was sometime earlier last week,
Oh.
like Wednesday or Thursday. And then I remember thinking about it now, and then I just kept building and staying with that and sticking with that mentality throughout the weekend.
Well, that's wonderful.
So, yeah, it's been a good weekend.
That's good.
Mm-hmm.
And you seem very happy today.
Yeah.
Not that you don't usually seem happy, but you just seem a bit more like, I don't know. You just seem like brighter and happier today.
In the right mind state.
There you go.
Yes, this is true.
All right. So, was there anything else that you wanted to try, as in like interventions?
I not maybe interventions, but I need you to talk with me about where I'm going.
Where are you going?
Yeah, I need to have a conversation with a friend.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
With a counselor, but I mean in terms of I need you to just talk with me and force me to get out of myself for a second.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. Well, I can't necessarily force you to do it.
Well, yeah, true. Not
But-
force me, but
I
help
can
me
talk
to
with
get
you.
out of
Yeah.
myself.
Okay, so let's start by maybe examining that a little bit more, getting out of yourself. What do you mean by that?
I mean, I have a tendency to so control my emotions and my thoughts that I disregard them sometimes.
Okay.
And so I have so much that goes through my head that I just kind of push aside and deal with the situation, or like, okay, it's time for work. Put your work hat on. And I have all this other shit in my head, all this other stuff in my head that I have to deal with that I've been thinking about my life, myself, but I just push it back.
Okay. So kind of what you're wanting to is kind of find that stuff that's back there
Yeah.
and bring it up.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So this is you. This is your time. And it's your time to give all that stuff out. Like, there should be nothing else in your head right now.
Yes.
You've got
absolutely.
the Josh hat on. Not the work hat.
I have the
or
Josh hat on.
Or the
I didn't know there was a Josh hat, but I like this hat. Okay.
You have the Josh hat on. So, I mean, anywhere that you want to start? What specifically are you really needing to get out?
It's not needing to get out, but just helping me to develop more of the kind of person I want to be.
Okay.
So we can go back to what I said before, maybe.
Okay. Well, I mean, your very first thing was being more positive, motivated, and organized. Getting to your standard of excellence that you want for yourself in your life. Is that right? Is that...
Yeah, no, that's right. I'm sorry. I'm thinking. I forget people read facial expressions. I control mine, so
That's okay.
I forget. Ask me something. I don't know where to start, so you gotta help me.
Okay. Where do you see yourself going since you've made these changes?
I see myself going to a better place where I'm more fulfilled,
Okay.
and I'm not as behind. I don't feel like I have to catch up, or I have to, but I feel like I'm even. I'm here, and I can do this if I need to, and this will come, and I can move as things move, and I like being there.
Okay. And where are you at right now?
At this very minute?
Mhm.
Exactly there.
Exactly
In
there?
that exact place, yeah.
What about yesterday?
Yesterday I was a little more elevated in terms of kind of stress because I have so much stuff to get done with school and stuff.
Okay.
But part of the changes was I honestly looked at it and I said, okay, I have to do all this stuff. This stuff has to get done. So what I need to do is organize it this way. If I stick to that organization, I'm guaranteed to get it done.
Mhm.
You know, like. And so that's what I did. I organized in my head what I wanted my day to look like, and I made some exceptions. Granted, you know, I spent a little more time, like I usually do, doing other things. But at the same time, after I got done, like I actually followed through, went home, worked on my homework, did what I was supposed to do, got the done in the order that I wanted to, then got here early. So it was perfect. So I organized my day in my head the day before, and it worked out. And so that's where I can see that's what I got to start doing.
Okay.
But wow. Yesterday I was stressed.
Okay.
Not stressed out, but I was at a higher level of stress until I just grabbed my mind and said, the only way you're going to be better is if you set a plan and actually follow through with it. And I did that, and I was even after that.
Okay.
So now I'm just following the plan.
So how likely are you to do that tomorrow? I mean, tomorrow's Monday. You've got work. You have all these things, and we made a list of things that you need to do next week.
That's a good question. I don't